What's up and welcome back to my channel. It's JVceo. If you're tuning in for the first time, then make sure you subscribe. I done a video a while ago with regards to the stamp duty being stopped, my plans for next year, how I'm going to take advantage of the market once the property prices crash, because obviously there were forecasts that the market would crash by around 15 to 17% from different outlets, from Rightmove to Zoopla, and I think even Foxtons as well. But things are hanging in the balance right now, and obviously I thought I'd discuss it with you guys. Bearing in mind, you know, this channel is all about personal growth, personal development, wealth creation. I don't like to say finance, you know, because obviously, like, starting up, I wasn't too great at maths. I've just had to learn it the hard way. I just, you know, learned the art of finance, managing money and growing money. So I don't really like to use the word finance. It makes me sound like a guru, and I'm not. But anyways, I've been reading in the news, and there's some pending news. So, for example, a possible extension of the stamp duty. Anyone that knows anything about the economy, especially the UK economy, I can't talk about any other economy, you would know that the property market or the property sector is instrumental to the direction that the economy heads in. So essentially speaking, if the property sector is doing well, then generally speaking, the economy, the wider economy will pick up after it. For example, if constructions are going on, people are spending in the property sector, that trickles down to the rest of the economy. And if you haven't watched my previous video, go and watch it, because then this video kind of links on from that, or continues on from that. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, a lot of issues have presented itself. For example, obviously, people losing their jobs, furlough potentially coming to an end, companies going into administration, Debenham being one of the latest ones, right? And potentially that causing, or that being part of the reason for the forecasted crash. But now, with the stamp duty extensions, what that essentially means is, you know, we get another couple of months of an inflated property market. So, you know how, for example, I was saying, oh, Liverpool is hot in my previous video. I talked about Liverpool being hot. So if you try to view a property in Liverpool, you may not even get availability, or you'd find that the property had only been on the market for like a week and it's off already. So I think there'll be more of that. The government, they're very tight-lipped at the moment with regards to whether they would actually push it through or not. But I do have a strong feeling that they will, in fact, extend the stamp duty. There's been, what's these things called? Petitions. There's been petitions. There's been lobbying from the Guild of Property Professionals. Essentially speaking, they're a body of estate agents. I think over 800 estate agents are part of it. And they're lobbying for that stamp duty extension. I think that kind of has me thinking in the sense of what direction the market is going to go in. Should be interested to see what would happen moving forward, and new reports as well. Will the property market still potentially crash by around 15 to 17%? Because then I was advocating for that, because then that would be a great time for people like myself to get back in the market and pick up properties at a mad bargain. But with this stamp duty extension, it makes it a bit tricky. So it'll be interesting to see what, you know, the big boys and the big firms are forecasting moving forward, especially if the stamp duty reduction does go on. Another reason why I think that the stamp duty reduction probably will go on is, if you think about it, right, we've been in yet another lockdown, which has meant that conveyancing process for, you know, property closing has been very slow. That means that quite a lot of people, especially coupled with like Christmas around the corner, some of the people that have their properties, you know, in a conveyancing process probably wouldn't even close before the 31st of March. That will mean that they lose out on the stamp duty break benefit, or the stamp duty sort of a holiday, if you want to call it that. And unfortunately, through no fault of theirs, we've literally been in another lockdown. So I think that's probably another incentive for the government to extend the stamp duty relief. In terms of me, you're probably thinking, how am I going to play the market? Initially, I'll be honest with you, I was going to wait until the stamp duty ended and then sort of jump in the market and take advantage of the discounts. But I'm thinking I would stagger my entry into the market. I can't wait. You know, I can't keep waiting, because what if they extend it for another 6 months? That means I'm not buying a property for quite a while, you know, so I can't wait. So I'm going to stagger my entry. probably go get a property or two, whilst if they do extend it, maybe go get a property or two around March, April next year, and then see, analyze the market from there, and then potentially, if it continues, go get another property or two. Or if it ends, go get more properties if the market does crash after that. However, the most important thing is making sure that I'm driving a hard bargain, essentially speaking, during those property viewings, making those property offers. I'm anticipating a potential crash in future, and I'm trying to future-proof myself. Because remember, you make the money when you purchase the property. Alongside that, there's a lot of new news. 10% or 90% LTVs are back in the market. 85% LTVs are also back in the market. And if anything, they're back in bigger numbers. So when compared to the numbers that were available in November, there's been a huge leap. And I think all of this is great. It's great for the property market. First-time buyers. In fact, if anything, I think it is great for some buyers and it's great for some sellers. Because obviously this is all propping the property market. As I mentioned earlier on, the property is the heart and soul of the economy. So that's great. What that means, if I'm honest with you, is probably a lot more people jumping back into the market and potentially, again, more inflated sort of prices. But in all of this, I think there's an opportunity. I don't think every area is hot. An example being, I've spoken about Liverpool. There's a postcode that I've been having a very keen eye on in Hull, around the university. I think it's HU6. At the start of lockdown, the first lockdown, before the stamp duty relief came into play, they had a lot of reductions. And these were for properties that hadn't been on the market for too long. I've literally just gone back on the computer because I've kept an eye on the property market, and they still have the same reductions. Properties are still being reduced in that sort of catchment area. I'm obviously exploring potential HMO options in that area, and I'm just trying to figure out, why is that particular area not hot? Why haven't they benefited from the stamp duty relief? Have they, or have they not? So that's obviously what I've got to wrap my head around. But I do think that even with this whole potential extension, there are opportunities there. Because, for example, sellers may be desperate because they're trying to, offload their property before a potential seize of the stamp duty holiday, and then a potential market crash in future. So they might be willing to take less than what they would have taken, in normal times. But it's quite interesting. I've literally just glanced through the news, and I thought I'll jump on YouTube and sort of share that with you guys, for those of you that haven't seen it, and we could open a dialogue. Because usually when I post a video, you guys will hit me back on emails and Snapchat, and we could sort of talk about the video. But I don't think I'm missing anything. I think the stamp duty will be extended. In my opinion. I think the market would stay propped up for now, but I think I'm calling it. I think I called it at the start of the lockdown, a real recession, or at least a mild / soft recession in 2022. Because there's only so long you can afford to prop up the economy for. This is all quantitative easing, and eventually you're going to have to let the economy reset itself, in a sense. You can prop up the property sector, but in other sectors, if people are not really spending money as they should, then it should be interesting. Also, should be interested to see what happens with furlough, because furlough is also scheduled to end around the same period. What happens if stamp duty holiday gets extended and furlough gets stopped? Doesn't really work, does it? Should be interesting. Anyways, I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you for watching. This is one of those nice little videos, throwaway videos. Just keep us ticking along, but also to keep us informed in terms of just the YouTube audience. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Until next time.